Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Now, I guess you folks are wondering why I'm dressed all in black. Well, it's because I'm going to be looking at a crime/gangster film. And I gotta say, there's nothing like a movie about mafia bosses, criminals, and gang members. In fact, some examples that I blogged in my series that fit that classic genre include A Cat in Paris, All Dogs Go to Heaven, Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, Solo, A Star Wars Story, and several others. Anyway, the film that I've chosen to look at today is an animated Dreamworks film from last year, which involves a criminal group of anthropomorphic animals. Released on April 22nd, 2022, the movie is The Bad Guys. Now, on for the plot of the movie. After a lifetime of legendary heists, notorious criminals Mr. Wolf, Mr. Snake, Mr. Piranha, Mr. Shark, and Miss Tarantula are finally caught. To avoid a prison sentence, the animal outlaws must pull off their most challenging con yet, becoming model citizens. Under the tutelage of their mentor, Professor Marmalade, the dubious gang sets out to fool the world that they are turning good. So, what do I personally think of the film? Well, like Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, I was a little skeptical of this movie at first, but after seeing the film in theaters with my friend Kevin, it turned out to be pretty good. But in order to explain what I mean, let's move on to Mustang notes. Now, firstly, the movie is loosely based on the children's book series of the same name by Aaron Blabey, who had also written and illustrated books like Pig the Pug, Thelma the Unicorn, and Piranhas Don't Eat Bananas. And to be honest, I've never read any of these, but hopefully soon I should check them out at my local libraries. Also, this was the first movie directed by Pierre Perifel, who in the past was an animator on films like Curious George, Monsters vs. Aliens, Shrek Forever After, and the Kung Fu Panda films. Plus, he won an Annie Award for his work in Secrets of the Furious 5. Anyway, work on The Bad Guys started in March 2018 with Ethan Cohen writing the screenplay. The characters and themes drew inspiration from various crime films and anime series such as Pulp Fiction, the Ocean's film trilogy, Lupin the Third, and Sherlock Hound. While the inspiration for the film's animation style came from Sony Pictures Animation's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which will be getting a sequel this summer. Production began at Dreamworks Animation's Glendale campus, and some additional production assets were borrowed from Jellyfish Pictures, with voice acting being done remotely due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, I must confess, the reason why I was skeptical for this film before seeing it was because I was afraid that it would be like DreamWorks' previous takes on books like Captain Underpants and The Boss Baby and be a complete disaster. But, on the other hand, their takes on Shrek and How to Train Your Dragon are still hits in my book. Also, when I saw The Bad Guys in theaters, it was one of two films that I saw on April 29th, 2022. The other being Sonic the Hedgehog 2, marking it the first time since 2004 when I saw a double feature in theaters. Now, to me, the animation is the best thing about the entire film. Not only is it reminiscent to Spider-Verse and the Mitchells vs. the Machines, but I think the character designs look like improved versions of their book illustrations, and I think the chase scenes, heists, and action scenes are absolutely comical and badass. Plus, I find it pretty cool that this is one of several films that take place in a world populated by anthropomorphic animals and humans. And I think the film's plot about a group of criminals trying to redeem themselves seems both interesting, relatable, and emotional. And that's all I got for Mustang notes. So let's move on to the characters and the voice actors who brought him to life. The leader of the gang, Mr. Wolf, is voiced by Sam Rockwell, whom I remember from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Iron Man 2, Trolls World Tour, and 2007's Joshua, aka the absolute worst thriller I've ever seen. I mean, just the mere mention of that movie gives me a bad name. Ugh. Anyway, I find Wolf to be a witty, laid-back, and charming character. Plus, he's extremely loyal to his friends, and he has extensive knowledge of the area within his crew's outreach. And as such, he must remain cool-headed and smart if he wants to make a clean getaway. Wolf's second in command, Mr. Snake, is voiced by Mark Maron, whom was in 2019's Joker, 2021's Respect, and last year's DC League of Super Pets. To me, Snake is a sarcastic and cynical safecracker, and he's also very clever due to him being able to outsmart Professor Marmalade in order to get payback for manipulating him and his friends. Miss Tarantula is voiced by Awkwafina, who was in Jumanji: The Next Level, Raya and the Last Dragon, the SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run, the MCU's Shang-Chi movie, and next month, she'll be playing Scuttle in the live-action Little Mermaid movie. Sweet! Now, Tarantula is a sharp-tongued and sarcastic expert hacker, and I think it's cool that her friends call her Webs. Fun fact, Webs has mostly learned how to hack from YouTube video tutorials. Next we come to Mr. Shark, voiced by Craig Robinson, who voiced an ogre named Cookie in Shrek Forever After. Shark is a childish and sensitive master of disguise who uses said disguises as tricks in order to access something or somewhere. The last member of the gang is Mr. Piranha, voiced by Anthony Ramos, best known from the 2018 Oscar champion A Star is Born, along with Elena of Avalor, Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton, In the Heights, and he'll be in the upcoming Transformers movie, and I just pray that it'll be as good as Nightformers was 5 years ago. Anyway, Piranha is a short-fused, loose cannon character from Bolivia, and he's the muscle of the gang. However, Piranha does not come without his flaws, because if the bad guys were to get stuck in a tight situation, it makes his stomach very upset, which results in him passing heavy amount of nauseous gas. Phew. The last character to talk about is Professor Marmalade, voiced by Richard Ayoade, whom I remember from Laika's The Box Trolls and Pixar's Soul. Marmalade is a wealthy guinea pig philanthropist, and to me, at first, he seems like a good-natured character who tries to teach the bad guys how to adapt to good behavior in order to turn the public image of the gang around. However, underneath it all, Marmalade can be very manipulative, like when he tells Wolf that he has to choose between his friends or the good life. And he's also a backstabber and double-crosser, like when he frames the bad guys of stealing a meteorite. Plus, Marmalade's evil plan is to use said meteorites to brainwash all the guinea pigs in the city and steal the charity money. Rounding out the cast is Zazie Beetz as Diane Foxington, aka the Crimson Paw, who serves as the state governor and Wolf's love interest, and Alex Borstein as Police Chief Misty Luggins. And now on to my final words. Overall, The Bad Guys is anything but bad. It has fantastic animation, It has pretty good humor, hardcore action, crazy and badass characters, and a pretty good story about redeemable villains. And I think this is a Dreamworks film that you and your family will have a lot of fun with. As for my rating, I'll give it a 92% out of 100. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me next time where I look at a new movie starring a beloved video game icon, Mustang Power.